All righty, great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever we are. I think, can y'all hear me? All is well? Okay, perfect. I don't even know if I need a mic. I'm gonna hold it though. Okay, welcome. Budget Betrayal, when Black students pay the price for white comfort contracts. I'm thoroughly excited about this topic because how they choose me with this topic. Okay, I just want to start with a reflective question for you all to think about. What if I told you that collectively we spend 50 billion with a B, 50 billion on educational resources, professional development, products and services? We know that, right? Okay, and then what if I told you that for the last 50 years, our achievement gap with our Black students have remained unchanged, the same, okay? I think it was Albert Einstein, y'all heard that before, where he said you repeatedly do something and expect something different. That's called what? Insanity. So by definition, our procurement practices have been insane, right? Okay, so I'm coming to you today. I am Locha Brooks. I'm the founder of First Class Educator. I'm also a passionate educator. I love the industry. I love what I know that it can do for us. I'm also coming to you as representing minority educational consulting firms. And so today I just really want to take the time to position procurement not as just another task for administrators or our leaders or our boards, but to really position it as a tool that can really transform our students and our communities. So as I mentioned in regards to the achievement gap, I just always like to show the data, okay? I always like to show the data. This is from the last 20 years, but as you can see, our Black babies, we down here with our reading. This is just your fourth grade reading level, but you can find all of the statistics in regards to each and every content area. The gap still remains the same, and we're still purchasing with the same vendors. And so sitting firsthand at the table and knowing that these decisions are being made and passed through our boards, our leaders, our superintendents, there just has to be some accountability when you take a look at the raw numbers. So I did just want to expose you all to the data. But the thing about this is it's a cycle of oppression that's taking place. Every year we issue RFPs. We put out our procurement list. We send out those invitations for vendors to petition how they can get their services in. But every year, 85% of contracts are given to those big box corporations. Every single year that are producing those same inequitable results. And so this is not just about wasted money. When we think about the resources, our tax dollars, and where they're going, being diverted to these companies that are not investing in the results, this is what you are getting. And so I just always like to really show powerful images of our babies. When you walk in some of those classrooms and you see the disconnection that they have with the material, and we have a whole agenda that say we don't want them to be woke. It is very strategic and it is very by design. They want our babies laying on the desk. So then they can keep on with the narratives that our babies are lazy. It's easy to blame the babies instead of the adult decisions that are being made. And so my whole purpose, my my whole purpose in talking about this is that it's cyclical. We can go and sit in all of the sessions. We can sit in all of the sessions, everybody doing this, they school is performing, we doing that. But when we really look at what's happening to our babies are suffering off of the decisions that we are choosing to let go. And that's holding our boards accountable. That's holding all of our strategic partners that we are bringing to the table, contract renewals year after year and not producing results. Something that's gone wrong, and our babies are suffering, okay? So I also want to speak to the fact that we know that strategic planning takes place. I've said as a truly concerned partner at strategic meetings. I'm not getting paid when I'm a vendor to come and sit at a strategic meeting, but because I care, because I want to see how does my organization fit within the goals of your strategic plan. I'm there sitting at the table. I'm listening to the teachers. I'm listening to the parents, other community entities. I'm hearing teachers say, well, we bought this curriculum 2 years ago. We spent $2 million on it, but we didn't have time to get onboarded with professional development to implement the training with fidelity. So I'm listening because I'm a partner. I want to see how we can serve. What can we do? Then I'm hearing the parents say, well, my baby is coming home and they say that the teacher is confused about the curriculum. They're confused about the curriculum. And so when all of those conversations are taking place and it's almost performative that we had the strategic planning meeting, then the contract is still renewed. It's something is going on. I just heard the teachers say, I just heard the parents, I just heard the teachers say, thank you. I just heard the teachers say, and I just heard the parents say that something is not working here that we spent $2 million on, and then they get a $2 million contract renewal. Okay, so there definitely has to be some accountability, but I'm speaking firsthand. I've said in these meetings, but only because I care as a partner, and I really do think intentionality has to be shown with how much our vendors are actually caring that much to come and sit in a meeting uninvited to learn more about the community and their needs. So I have a formal equity framework for you all because I'm not like the minister say, I'm not going to be before you long. Okay? This NABSE next, they say it's only 15, 20 minutes. I'm not going to be before you long. On the next slide, I do have a QR code with a framework that we did come up. This is not rocket science though. This not, I just put the word equity up there. Okay? Just a few things that we should already be doing. Evaluate the vendor. Evaluate the vendor. Check their background. This young lady just spoke, Miss Bradford just spoke about those organizations that are coming into the communities with redlining initiatives and things like that. Some of our curriculum partners, and I'm gonna just drop this because I'm an educator, but you know, who was the S&P Global 500? You could just do the research. Who were they? Every single district has curriculum with somebody who was partnered with them. And we talk about the subprime loans, and we talk about the grannies and the pawpaws that lost their houses in foreclosures, and they tied to those same curriculum companies that we spend millions on every year. But I won't do too much. I won't do too much. I won't do too much. Evaluate. Just do the background check. Check their record. They've been around 100 years. What are they supporting? Okay, I'm not knocking. I want 100. First class educator wants 100 years. But check the resume and background. What have we stood for 100 years? What have we done over those 100 years? Okay, qualify them. Okay, say for instance, it's not a black-owned company, right? It could be a non-minority-owned company. Qualify them. Who are they partnered with? Okay? What are they doing for communities? And that's fine. They qualify them. Make sure that they understand your needs. This is important. Yes, they have a product, they have a service, they done packaged it real nice. It's pretty. They got the online platforms because we want to digitalize everything. That's because they got the money for the branding. Okay, they marketing budgets are way bigger than the operating budgets of some of these districts. Okay, but please make sure that they understand your needs. And then all you have to do, once y'all have a good idea of where you want to go with it, implement that plan, but then we got to track it. How are you tracking the metrics? Just because they got the contract don't mean it's working, right? They have to have some type of tracking that takes place. One of the things that we do in our contracts, we always say, we're going to come and present at your board meeting. I want to show you what we're doing in your district. Because if you don't, I'm black anyway. They're going to say, what's first class educator doing? We gave them, not I got a $500,000, 25,000. Some slight. They want to know, what are we doing? What impact? I'm volunteering. I want to come and speak at the board. Track it. Make sure that those metrics are adding up and what is it yielding, okay? And not only what is it yielding, but yielding to the voice of your teachers. How are the teachers in the community responding to the product or service? That is very important. Now, I'll give you the QR code to scan with a formal checklist. This is a formal checklist. I want to make sure that you all have that because you can actually use that particular equitable procurement framework checklist. It's lengthy. I put a lot of time into it. It's just the process that I use when I'm working with my partners. And this here vendor sustainability plan, that's something that I also created for minority vendors. If you look at the research, typically a minority-led organization only lasts about 3 years. Okay, they only have about 3 years and then they back on the plantation. Okay, they back doing something that really doesn't align with their hard work because they're not getting the contracts, okay? So you have those. I just wanted to make sure that yes, ma'am, please.
You want us to wait till you finish, or
Go ahead. This is fine.
this is fine?
It's impromptu. Oh, let me say I speak Ebonics too. That's my first language in case it
I love
just want to tell you
I
that.
just want to let you guys know she is 100% on track. I'm from Flint, Michigan, and it's almost tearful that our kids was failing. I mean, they even going to other schools and failing. And we can't just blame it on Flint water crisis.
Right.
So what our board did was we stepped out. We tried this before my party line when we first came. Remember, you're fighting against the system. And we went against the system. And they turned it into a racial issue. We was in court. The superintendent tried to sue us for so many $100,000. We have board members. But board members have to be bold. And we began to hire a consultant, Tracy Davis, Dr. Sandra Winter Cook on the superintendent on the board side. And they started doing analysis of the data. Because see, they come to us with, we think academics fair. Academics not fair. So then we began to study, and they have the academic team, the data. Well, we found out when they started failing. Those kids started failing from K to second. We found out they were not teaching the kids from K to second. So when they go take the state test, the kids are still on a pre-K, not even kindergarten level. Then they kept them in the third grade twice. Then they kept them. So what we're finding out now, that you guys refuse. God do not make empty vessel. And they refuse to teach the kids. But it comes with a price, what you're talking about. Right now, we're doing a program evaluation. This is my VP.
We're doing a curriculum audit.
And so
Curriculum audit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's going to come with a price because we're fighting against the system.
Can I ask a quick
Yeah,
question?
sure.
So I'm her vice president.
Okay.
I'm her soldier. We're 100% Title I.
Okay.
Right. Every student gets free and reduced lunch. So we've got all this title money. And the problem is that we have all these vendors that are hired and contracted with the title money. So you've got partners and sometimes even the superintendent and the academic staff who consider it free money. It's not coming out of the general budget. So they're like, oh, approve it, because we've got to spend this money and we're not spending enough on it. So we have all this junk, right? That is, like you said, is not equitable because look at the history and what they're doing, and they're not for us. They're not for our kids, for our community, right? And I've been trying to get rid of, we've been trying to get rid of something. How do you get rid of it when they're like, oh, it's not coming out of the general fund? So and we've got to spend the money or we're going to lose money. And it's like, this is not a good program. And we need these other things.
Thank you both. And I appreciate both of your voices in the room, especially as board members. I think it's very important to acknowledge our boards. Yes, because you all are very influential with making sure contracts get approved, renewed. And so one of your questions, to your point, making sure that the vendors align with whatever your goals are for the organization, but even vetting them, making sure that the design team looks like the babies that they are coming in to serve. I think a lot of times that step is missed and it's very critical. I've sat with organizations where they're bringing in a curriculum partner and it's no diversity on their team. That's a red flag. And I'm very sorry. It's a red flag. It's very bold to say, but if these people have never worked with the students that their product is supposed to be serving, where have you piloted? Okay, so that's making sure that we just do that audit, as you mentioned, doing an audit of the curriculum, doing an audit of their design team, doing an audit of their history is just going to be very important. Yes.
your position would be great for board members because when we're running, we're just street people. But when we're at the table, then it becomes board business. And then I always said, well, you're overreaching. But I think if we educate board members when they first come on, I've been on 5 years, and I'm just not getting to the point where we done tore things down, and now we're trying to rebuild and get it together. But I think people like yourself, if we could, MASB and all of those are good, but they need to come to board members and say, you are responsible for the outcome of these kids.
And so board trainings are important as
I'm
well.
not talking about this little bitty
Yes,
ass,
yes, yes.
what you talking about.
No, 100%. The board trainings, training new board members is very important because a lot of times you get board members who are community members that are not a part of the educational sector, so they don't even know what to look for.
Yeah.
So having a formal board training, that is something first class educator can help with also. Okay. I I do because I know the TED Talk session. I'm doing like a Baptist pastor now. I'm going over my time. But I do want to talk about very successful partnerships that we've had in which it's not a overnight process to know what a district actually needs to best serve them. So there's a case study that I like to reference. We've had a partnership with Decatur Public Schools, and this will be our fifth going into our sixth year working with them. Initially, they needed help assisting their educators. The student demographics changed from majority student population was non-minority, teaching population non-minority. That changed drastically within 3 years. So they needed help. Their teachers were having a disconnect. So we met with them. They had formal documents, resolutions on racism, all of these different things that were just sitting collecting dust, and we helped them to put that in action. But again, that was a 3-year process. We started with their district level leaders first before we even touched their teaching staff, just to make sure all of their district leadership was on board. We also, and when I say we, my organization engaged their community intentionally. So we partnered with their Black Chamber of Commerce. We wanted to see what other assets were available in that community so that the work could be sustained without us. So even partnering with local Black owned therapy companies, we saw that they had a large disparity with Black male students being disciplined at higher rates than anybody else. Same story you all have probably in your communities. What we did when we went in, we identified Black therapists. We found an amazing art therapist, Black guy, he didn't have any clients, but he was real, and we found him. Partnered him with one school. He ended up getting a contract by our second year in the district with over the half of the district doing a boot camp, doing Black male therapy, and they saw changes with their discipline rate. So being intentional like that, these are just some of the results that came out of that partnership. They saw a 12% increase in their staff retention. One of the other identifiers that they found was that their beginning year teachers were coming, they didn't have supports. So I say we're in our fifth, sixth year working with them because now we do a beginning teachers mentorship program. So what started as working with culturally responsive instruction turned into working with all of their beginning teachers and new teachers coming into the district. We saw a 9% decrease in truancy. And so that was a big win for the district because that was a 3-year low for them. All right. And so all of these other things, 100% of their principals submitted equity plans, district leadership equity plans, cultural clubs. One other thing that it was just amazing to me because a lot of times we want to quantify data, but you need to qualify it as well. There's a story to be told. We presented them with local history about a Tuskegee airman that was from their community. They actually end up naming a school after the Tuskegee Airmen we introduced them to. So when they told me about that, I was so amazed. I was so amazed. And so those are just a few things. And so my charge here today is just telling you it's not about just first class educator, because if anybody know me for the last several years at NABSE, I've been promoting minority led educational consulting firm, service providers, professional development providers, just because we have a duty. We have a duty, and my charge is to make sure that you implement this practice as far as an equitable framework for procurement and just be more intentional for our babies. So lastly, if you all wouldn't mind scanning the QR code, just a quick survey. And then if you want to connect with me on Instagram, that is my time. I'm pretty sure I'm a little over, but I did just want to share. This is hard work. If y'all can't feel it, if y'all can't feel it.
Are you from Decatur, Georgia?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, 314. You already know how we coming. Yes, sir. And thank you all. I appreciate you all for attending. I do have my booth is right outside this door, First Class Educator, if you want to connect further.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.